Hey everyone, this is Manly Badass Hero, and welcome back to The Letter. Previously, we had to deal with the repercussions of Isabella's death, as everyone tries to move on. At this hour, the cafe is usually filled to the brim of people. That's the reason Isabella and I rarely ever go here during the evenings. It's simply too much of a hassle when we can prepare food ourselves in the comfort of our homes, and there really isn't much reason to eat out lately. With life going on a busy streak. No time for long lines. Better spend that doing something productive, yes?
Lucky there isn't one tonight.
Only a few people are idling around the counter. 4 of them, in fact. A woman in her 60s and a teenager busy with his phone. Both are just waiting to be served their orders. The other 2, a posh-looking man and a child, who I immediately recognized as Kylie, appear to have not yet picked anything they want. Ooh, I was right. Luke is the person who is taking care of the kids. For some reason, my stare lingers at the guy. Though dressed relatively well and looks harmless. I haven't seen him around these parts before. Someone new in the neighborhood, perhaps. Even so, there's something familiar in him. It feels like I've seen him somewhere before. It also begs the question why Kylie is with him. Why is your head so huge in comparison to everyone else, Kylie? If that's your real name. Of course, the girl easily takes a liking to anyone who buys her sweets, so it's both a bit worrisome and unsurprising. The blonde bloke doesn't look particularly thrilled with the company, though. Get out of my way, child. Here, I'll throw money at you and you buy whatever you want, like whatever you kids buy, like fidget spinners or tanks or more money. Go buy some more money with this money, child. I turn my eyes away from them soon enough to once the guy at the counter appears, ready to take my order. That, and I also hate to be accused of ogling strangers.
Irish stew. Just for one person.
He quickly raises an eyebrow at that, while I swiftly avert my eyes down to my hands, although I don't miss the counseling look he gives me. I rarely visit here alone if I can help it. Often it's always with Isabella. She can be a bad influence sometimes. But that's precisely why this guy has known us long enough that, if I ever drop by here alone, he already has a number of ideas why. Doubtless he's already heard what happened in the news. No need to bring it up on something casual as ordering food. There's proper time and place for grief and empty sympathies. He gives me a small smile before leaving to prepare my order, while I fish for my wallet when...
Look, you little ankle biter. If I buy you the biggest parfait they have, will you please behave? I would just like 10 minutes of peace and quiet.
You said you'll get me some bread pudding this time.
Yeah, well, darling, they said they ran out of it. Just pick another one so we can be on our way.
Nonsense! With my money, we can make sure the bread pudding appears no matter what. So we throw more money at them and they'll get it. Pronto.
That parfait doesn't look as cute as the one my mom bought me.
Parfait is just ice cream, sweetheart. It'll melt no matter how dainty it appears. In the end, it'll all look like an ugly puddle. Now come on, just pick one. It could even be the most expensive one on that list. I don't give a shit.
The concept of Luke being an actual father, if it was like a happy ending, is kind of funny to me now.
I don't care. Oh, what I would give for someone to buy you off my hands right now.
What? My whole attention instantly snaps back to them and their conversation. Jumping to conclusions is something I'm particularly fond of, especially when all I have are baseless assumptions, but you can't really trust a stranger these days. No one around the cafe seems to have noticed his words either. Very suspicious words. Still, I don't move. Yet. But my hand has already shifted from my wallet to the book I'm carrying. A hardbound textbook. Looks harmless, but if a situation calls for it, it might be a good deadly weapon. Might. I haven't gotten the chance to try it anywhere, so far. If cheese can be a deadly weapon, a book definitely can. Today could be the day.
But you promised.
Look, if you don't want a parfait, how about a Bonifay pie? I'm sure it'll taste just as good as any other bread pudding. I'll even buy you the entire tray. How does that sound?
That's not what you said before.
Well, sweetheart, adults change their minds sometimes.
You said if I come with you, you'll buy me a bread pudding, and I did, and now you won't keep your promise. I want to go home. I miss my mom.
No, darling, if I remember correctly, and I have a good memory, honey. What I said was, if you come quietly with me, I might buy you one.
I'm just gonna say, like, out of context, I'm assuming that sounds really suspicious.
The quiet part didn't happen. Though now that I'm sober, I think this is a bad idea. And I should just ship you someplace else for that peace and quiet.
Oh, that's it. No hesitation. In a few paces, he's within my reach. Without warning, I'm slamming the flat area of the book against his skull. There's a cry of pain, followed by him instantly crouching down, hands nursing a sore spot. Almost comically, if this were a different situation, the safety of St. Coretti's student is at stake, I'll probably feel sorry for him. I mean, has anyone seen how thick this book is?
Get behind me, Kylie.
Miss Pink!
Let's go, Pink Ranger. It's amusing how fast her expression changes from the pouty one earlier to something that of utter delight upon seeing me. But there's no time for any pleasantries, not even quick ones, because soon the man strains I'm readying my favorite newfound weapon for another hit. Except this time, he's ready, and before I can land another one, his hand shoots up to catch my wrist in a firm hold. And the look on his face looks kind of like a guy who just got hit in the back of the head with a book, really hard.
Bloody hell, woman, what's your problem?
To say he's pissed would be a complete understatement. Had I been the weak-willed sort, I'd probably cower under his sharp gaze. But that simply isn't how I rule. If he thinks he can scare me and do as he pleases here, just because I'm a woman or whatever reasons may be, he's got another thing coming for him. So instead, I return to him with the same intensity, with the same venom.
What's my problem? You're the one who has a problem here. Rotten bowbags like you don't deserve the freedom to run this town. What are you doing to this girl?
And why is that any of your business, pray tell?
Oh, it's my business if I make it to be. Now, release me or I'll call the police.
You think that scares me, Daisy?
Do you like have a nickname for everyone you meet?
I have a name, you sleazy douchebag.
Oh, I'm sure.
His grip on my hand only tightens when I attempt to shake it off. His tone may be dripping with anger and sarcasm, but the gleam in his eyes says it all. He's getting a kick out of this. Riling people up, getting on their nerves, invading their personal space. He knows exactly what and which buttons to push. The nerve of this person. The nerve of this asshole. If he thinks I'm going to give in to his goading, please, you might as well just kiss his sorry behind. In fact, why not the most sensible thing right now? Teach him a tough lesson. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I'm gonna laugh if this increases his affection. Go!
Mister, you have until the count of 5 to let me go and step out of my personal space.
A fair warning. Fairer than any I've got for people of his kind. And I'm already being considerate. Hell, this asshole doesn't even deserve a warning. He's listening as much as responsible will happen next as anyone.
Or else what? Such vulgar words coming out of that pretty mouth. A gorgeous flower like you shouldn't even be saying.
Don't say I didn't warn you, bowbag.
Love that intensity, Daisy. FYI, I like feisty in a woman. It gives them this certain charm. Why don't you?
5.
A second of silence. Without preamble, my legs move in one fluid motion and delivers a swift, powerful, well-placed kick to his neva regions. Needless to say, the effect is instantaneous.
5.
Or else what? Or else what? Or else what?
He abruptly drops his hold on me and kneels over, howling from pain. I can see tears forming at the corner of his eyes too, though the mere sight of it prompts not an ounce of remorse from me. I would have been gentler if he isn't such a dirty little prick with an ego too big for his head. Too bad. Whether this obliterates any chance of him ever procreating remains to be known, but part of me is already praying he doesn't ever breed after this. We have no need of more of him in this world.
You mad woman! Or else what? You mad woman!
Drop the mix. Now, let's see where the other one goes.
Let me go, you uncouth lout!
However way he takes a relationship ahead, it's just in different degrees.
Or else what?
I'll scream.
He laughs a derisive thing that rankles on my temper more than it has any right to. As if he knows I can't do anything or he's above any authority that exists in this city. Confident he can get away with anything. The gall of this man. I'd like to punch him right now if I can.
Nice try, lady. Why don't you drop the book first? You could kill people with that, you know.
Fat chance.
Oh no, that attitude won't do, Daisy. Here, let's try that again, like the proper adults we both are. Drop the bloody fucking book.
And then what? If you're assuming I'm...
Then we'll have a nice conversation over a cuppa. Establish why you're attacking a poor, innocent stranger with a deadly weapon. And maybe weave in an apology or two for the offended party afterwards. I'm the offended party here, by the way. My brain hasn't returned to its rightful place yet, in case you're wondering.
Innocent! Don't play dumb! I heard what you were trying to do with that girl. Just because she isn't my student yet doesn't mean I don't have a role in protecting that child's innocence.
Protecting the what of who? Why would you... Oh no!
In the span of a second, the expression on his face changes faster than anyone is capable of. From pure confusion to sudden realization, before finally deciding the face of utter mortification. He's quick to drop his hold in my hands afterwards, like he's been holding a piping hot object and has just realized it's in his hands all along. He's far from a decent person, but he might actually make good money doing comedy. It's true. The look on his face when he starts babbling his excuses is almost priceless.
No, this kid's... Alright, lady, look, it's all a misunderstanding.
My tone can't go any flatter than the one I have now.
Right. Somebody help me!
He places a hand on my mouth before I spill the rest of it, and all at once I'm caught between trying to stop him from smothering me and keeping his dirty hands off me. But even as my nails dig deeper into his wrists, he doesn't appear to have any intention of letting me go. Being loud works, however. Soon the attention of practically every customer seen in this small establishment is on us. I shoot each of them an imploring look, hoping one of them will have the sense to help. The sleaze, however, is fast enough to flash them all an embarrassed smile.
Haha! This lady's having such a bad day! Poor girl's just been through so much today! Nothing to see here, go on with your dinner.
Bad day. Even as we're a friendly chat, I won't even touch you with a 10-feet pole, much less share any of his problems with you. Delighter, you're my problem. I want to blur it out, but with a hand covering my mouth and my lungs rapidly losing air, I bite down on his hand. Hard. It works.
Ow!
He yowls, jerks his hand away from my face. Slipping Pat to put as much distance as he can between us while nursing his injured hand, and gets his chest and muttering a string of very creative set of expletives. Tears have formed at the corner of his eyes from the pain, and a small laughter almost leaves me. To be frank, he gives the impression of a kicked puppy with the glare he shoots me. A puppy I'm less inclined to feel sorry about.
You mad woman!
I warned you, you ass!
Why this is harassment, I'm telling you! Harassment!
Then why don't you tell that to the police once they get here,
You despicable! Whatever you're assuming I am, I'll have you know it's all in your head. None of it's true. You best have that pretty brain of yours checked before that gets worse. What is wrong with you? Is this the face of someone who'd do anything suspicious?
Oh? You don't think a stranger luring an innocent child with promises of sweets before whisking them away from their parents doesn't warrant any suspicion? You have a very funny definition of suspicious, asshole. Maybe you're the one who should have that head of yours checked.
The kid asked me to buy her sweets. You're the one who's suspicious here. I'll have you know, I have a wife!
That much at least appears to have a sliver of truth to it. He even makes a show of brandishing his left hand to my face with much flourish. Sure enough, a wedding ring is there, though all that earned him is an unimpressed glare from me. Immediately, a small part of me starts to feel sorry for whatever poor woman married this sod. I don't understand why he has to bring her up either, as if the mention of her alone will magically present a solution to his problem. She must really be a remarkable woman, if she can handle a dirtbag like him.
And even my wife of all people in this bloody city, has never, I'm telling you, accused me of such a scandalous thing! You crazy woman!
God, the people like actually drinking and eating at this cafe right now are just like...
Married or not, you're still a sleaze. Honestly, I feel...
I like taking bets right now.
Miss Pink, why are you fighting with my teal?
Whatever word still left to be said here dies on my tongue. The same thing goes for the sleaze. Besides us stands Kylie, gawking at us with that same curious stare she often brings with her. I know they look all too well. A precocious child through and through. She doesn't say anything further. Her gaze simply moves between us, eyeing us both carefully, clearly anticipating an answer. In my experience, when it gets like this with children her age, it's a sure sign they won't leave you until you give them an answer they're satisfied with. Lying won't do either. It has dissolved into a shouting match, for heaven's sake. And did she just say T.O.? Something falls straight to the pit of my stomach at that. But my tone is gentle when I finally address her, void of any apprehension in what might be the first sense of embarrassment. I pointedly ignore the latter. It can very well be just a hunger speaking.
Kylie, sweetie, do you know this oaf?
Yeah, he's Teal Luke.
Right at the moment, my brain stops. Everyone's connected in this town. Every line of thought, every argument I still have against the man beside me dissipates in a haze. I missed all of it, and one memory gets triggered. A few days ago.
Tio? The one you mentioned before? The uncle? The guy Rowan wanted to impress? Or was that a dare? I'm sorry, I can't recall. Is it the one who promised he'll take Big Brother someplace cool?
Yeah, the one and the same. Don't you know who he is?
I sure as hell don't, darling. Because if I do, I wouldn't have let everything I said earlier come out of my mouth.
He's my Teal Luke. Gazillionaire extraordinaire, am I? No, the fairy godfather.
Ah!
He's your godfather. That's nice.
The one and only. Did I get that right, Tio?
More than right, sweetheart. I'm sure Miss Pink here understood everything you said quite perfectly.
Your title hasn't changed, I noticed. Whatever it is that landed above my stomach prior is shot straight up to my face and stayed there. The heat from it slowly sprang to my cheeks, coloring my face in almost the same shade as my hair. If only the earth would swallow me whole here and now. His eyes are on me. I can feel them. Jeering, mocking. I can't even bring myself to look at him. What's in there? Amusement? I doubt it. He's probably having the time of his life right now. But I know. I can hear the sneer in his tone alone when he talks. He has that smug grin on him, which I may or may not want to punch off his face at present, just for the hell of it. But damage control. I need to do some damage control, or this whole thing goes south. That curiosity, though. Well, that makes a jump. Though it pains me to apologize to a sleaze bag like him. This is my mistake. With Kylie watching us close by, I don't want to set a bad example for her, do I? I'm surprised she grew up the child as she is. If anything, I want to be the role model this man couldn't possibly come from her. Even means taking a few blows to my ego and stroking its insufferable one. A deep gulp of air, a short moment to swallow my self-respect, and then I'm facing him. The words are out of my mouth in a single breath.
I'm really, really sorry, sir. I had no idea.
His smirk is impossible to miss. He's not making an effort to hide it. Even the smile is so irritatingly present in his tone. If I could slap it off him, I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Now, it's an honest mistake, Daisy.
No, I really mean it. I actually thought you were... And then...
It's fine now. It probably happens quite a lot to a few people who look suspicious to you. Seems I'm one of them now. But don't lose sleep over it. Do be careful with that book, though. A little more and you would have dislodged my poor brain off my head. What would I ever do if that happens?
Oh no! Did it leave a mark or anything? If you want, we can have it checked. I'll handle the expenses if there's a need for it.
Now, what kind of man would I be if I let an attractive woman such as yourself do that? Why don't we just look at it this way? Oh no! Oh no! You mad woman! You mad woman! My forgiveness is coming from the utter goodness of my heart.
So full of himself. Exactly the kind of person I'll happily leave to die in a ditch somewhere.
Of course, sir. Why didn't I think of it that way?
I know, right? But even someone as capable as you is bound to have a few lapses. No harm done, Daisy. Let's move on from this.
Well, if you're going to put it like that, then I guess there's nothing left for us to talk about.
I figured as much.
Awkward. The whole exchange is nothing but an awkward display of fake pleasantries. One that brings much agony to the very pride I'm willingly held back a while ago. I might need a drink later, so I can forget any of this ever happened. Who would have thought the time would come when I meet someone tougher to handle than Isabella? Miracles of miracles, I swear. Though, to my surprise, he proffers me a hand shortly before they leave. For a shake, I realize, after a long minute of staring at it. I accept it, albeit half-heartedly. But all the goodwill that small gesture represents melts into thin air when he winks at me. Winks. The gall of this man. However, there's no moment to ponder about it. Seconds later, the guy at the counter waves me over and hands me a paper bag as soon as I've paid. He offers me a nervous smile before I leave. Normally I return it simply for the sake of returning it, or I don't at all, with the latter happening more commonly. For the time being, I do so freely. After that encounter and the scene we've caused, seeing a friendly gesture being extended to me, albeit from a person I barely know on a personal level, it feels like a reassurance, despite bearing no promise of better days. Particularly low I can of it with me as I step out into the night. Let's see how we're doing in the journal. So 25th. Party's coming up soon enough. Branching tree, show me the way. Into a big branch coming up, actually. A cloudless night sky greets me when I walk out of the cafe. Beyond the tall buildings, a blanket of stars spread out before me. Isabella once told me that the best place to view it is someplace outside the city, away from the noise and the obtrusive lights. She'd seen it once in her mom's hometown, and every time in the university she used to attend. Then she asked if it's possible to try it out here sometime. I agreed with her at the time, if only because she appeared excited at the mere prospect of it. We made those little plans along with Zachary and Ashton. We never got around to it before. Now we've lost the chance. Even so, I find myself enjoying this, despite being told it's only half the experience. Little things, you know. Stuff you learn to appreciate when you're alone. Because at certain times, you get to meet people who are unfortunately born with the innate talent to ruin the mood in the scene of their mere existence alone. For example, the very driver of the car fast approaching my direction. Luckily, he doesn't notice me. But the fleeting moment we pass each other by gives me a brief glance at the people he's with. Whoa, 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 whoa. Kylie's sitting in the backseat with a serving of bread pudding in her hands. And beside him, it must be his wife. He takes a turn and disappears at the nearest corner. But throughout the night, that cursory glimpse of all things to bother me has left me wondering what kind of person his wife is. More than that, it's a silent prayer to the universe. I hope I don't ever cross paths with that douche again. October 27th. Skipping ahead. 2 days, actually. The brief lull the past 2 days has offered is nice while it lasted. Or as nice I can get under the shadow of Isabella's recent passing hovering our heads. There have been no updates from Ashton either, despite his promise. There's Kyoko for Danganronpa right there. When he breaks his silence, in the background with the purple hair, he's only delivered a short message from LPD, allowing Sam and Wells' tenant to return to their flats tonight. Somehow with that, it feels like the whole of Luxborn, or the whole world even, is the last choice to move on its own again. Onwards to different, more important things that really matter to the general public. Yet, something still lingers.
Like an ugly premonition.
And as expected, just as things start to settle and steady rhythm finally worms its way back to my routine, Thursday morning brings further disturbance to the now calm waters. With a little ceremony, though still enough to ripple through everything. In retrospect, I really should have seen this coming. Luxborn is a small city, relatively speaking. Compared to, say, London or Glasgow, it's nothing but a tiny mass of land boasting a mere population of 68,000. But those numbers alone are nothing to scoff at when standing in a busy street. If you pay close enough attention, faces taking the crosswalk or riding the subway will soon grow familiar. How unfortunate that out of that number, has to be Tio fucking Alok I encountered more than once.
Oh, you know, a few problems popping up here and there that the agents failed to tell us somehow.
But then we just got more money and we just started throwing at them and everything just started working. Like my car broke down the other day and I just threw money at the engine and then it started working magically, then ignited into terrible flames, but I wasn't inside of it, some poor schmuck was. But not me, if I have money.
Nothing a few hired hands can't fix, of course. I would have preferred a place near the city and something that's new to save us all the trouble, but darling wife insisted. Who am I to say no?
Ah, are you kidding me?
The smughead is the first thing I see upon turning into the hall. In spite of the small crowd of parents and students gathered at the quarter of the primary's career day. It's not that he stands out. He's pretty unremarkable at first glance, frankly. However, it's his countenance that draws people's eyes to him. The manner he carries himself with all the confidence in his world, his mere presence dwarfing everything around him. I'm willing to make a bet he's also enjoying the attention it garners him, especially the ones coming from the women.
What an ass.
A single glance at him and I know immediately that one way or another, if we ever bump into each other again, my day will effectively be ruined in some capacity. He also exudes that air. That sort that makes you want to run him over with a lorry and pass it off as an unfortunate accident. With him, it's either you want to punch him and let yourself be charmed. There's no in between. I'm glad to do the honor of the former myself. But alas, there are people around us. Now I'm stuck with having to face one of the two.
I shouldn't have volunteered.
At the time, helping out sounded like a good idea. I've no classes left today until after lunch. I could have opted to stay the teacher's allowed to work my lesson plans, but that means being left alone with our deputy head and his chatter. He's a good man, but crivens, he can talk anyone's ears off, almost like a Let's Player. So the amount of opportunity rose, I jumped on it, like a Let's Player. It's a simple task to boot, like Let's Playing. Just deliver a whole box of materials and a few posters for the event. Maybe stay around and assist if time will allow it, like a Let's Player. We deliver boxes a lot. I just wasn't expecting him to show up here. Out of the frying pan and into the fire. Had I known, I would stay and suffer for our deputies and impromptu speeches about his life crisis instead. What's done is done. Going back is also out of the question. While unexpectedly heavy the load I'm carrying is, I hate to lug this out for a trip back just because my pride can't take another second interaction with the guy. He's insufferable, alright. I've had my fair share of dealings with teens, more or less. The same temperament, all considerably younger than him. And they listened. If he wants to be difficult like last time, so be it. But he can bet his sorry English ass I'm not standing down. But with no other choice, I brace myself and suck in a breath, mustering every patience I have as I step into the hall. I grip on the box tie-ins when I pull it closer to me, and attempt to assume a low-key air as I amble towards the room. Amble, amble, amble. The box is not big enough to hide my face, like a Let's Player, even with stuff piled on top. If all else fails, I can just hit him with it. Still, a small prayer forms in my head. If there's even one listening out there, please grant me enough restraint. Better yet, I hope he doesn't notice me at all. That'll definitely make my life easier. Seriously, how hard can it be? He's standing a few ways from the door, and there are plenty of people between us to use for cover. If I'm careful, I can just go in, hand in the stupid box to whoever's in charge, forget every plan of staying longer than necessary, and step out as soon as I can. Easy as pie. But as luck would have it, the exact moment I reach the room's threshold, someone barrels toward me. She latches onto my waist before toppling the sudden commotion with a gleeful squeal. Oh, Kaylee, no!
It's you!
Oh! The force of it nearly throws me off balance, sending I am stacked atop the box, tilting dangerously to the sides. The child's hand weighted my waist, pinning me on the spot, and both of my hands occupied. Watching is the only thing I'm able to do. The short seconds in between slows as everything gradually slides off the box's small surface. Under different circumstances, this would have made for a funny story some other time. Comical, even. Until another set of hands reaches out and stays the posters, trying to take a nosedive right to the floor. Oh, look, he's on voice for some reason right now. I guess I'll improvise. Careful now, Daisy. Don't make a mess here. Here, let me throw some money at you to break your fall. There we go, some good improvisation. My entire body freezes. Upon hearing his voice alone, an irrational impulse to hit him immediately bubbles up. But before my limbs could catch up with what my brain's currently screaming at me, he moves to take the burden off my arms. Irritation gives way to surprise, then confusion. It is in that moment when instinct finally kicks in and I tug the box closer to me, before he can fully lift it off.
What are you doing?
What does it look like? You're surprisingly slow on the uptake for someone of your profession, aren't you?
Nice to see you again, sleazy douche.
Bloody, doesn't this school have people for this kind of work? So much for being a center of academic excellence.
I'm going to ignore that slight to my alma mater and my work, because that's not what I'm trying to get at. You know what? Why don't we just rephrase that to something you'll easily understand? Why exactly are you doing this?
Well, you look like you could use a bit of help. Have you seen your face while you were heaving this around?
Mister, I'm pretty sure if there's ever a look on my face, it's entirely because I saw something extremely unpleasant this morning.
Aren't you a ball of sunshine today, Daisy? Having a bad day, aren't we?
Oh, you have no idea.
I'd put it away if I were you. You might scare the children.
You don't have to worry about that. This isn't my department. I was just asked to bring these. Anyway, I can handle this myself, mister. The room's just right over there. Behind you, in fact. Now, if you could please move over and make way, it would do the whole world some good.
Keeping my voice level throughout is a miracle in itself. But regardless of how polite my request is, he doesn't budge. Did what I just said merely flew over his head? Yes. Or my choice of words really that difficult to comprehend? Surely, it shouldn't be that hard. I think he might be a little touched in the head. And we're not talking about that ghost girl floating over him, touching his hair. I like to ask him that, actually, but Kylie chooses that instant to pipe in.
Don't worry, Miss Pink. Teo's strong. You can leave this to him.
A word to the most annoying character.
My papa does it lots of times, but I'm not allowed to talk about it to anyone. Teo says it's
Condiments?
Confidential, Munchkin.
That's right. Teo's smart, isn't he, Miss Pink?
I'm still of the opinion that he's a piece of shite, but I must admit, his goddaughter's excitement is contagious, as always. A smile makes its way to my lips. She's yet to budge from her place, though to be honest, I'm starting to lose some feeling in my stomach with how tightly she's wound her arms around it.
I'm sure he is, Kylie. But I'm also sure he'll find better use for it elsewhere.
Like helping you out.
Oh, well, that's one thing, but...
You heard the kid.
No one's asking you.
Oh, you wound me, woman.
And I'm quite certain I can do more damage than that. Shall we give it a try? Again?
He pales, stammers for a bit, till he ultimately decides against saying anything and settles for a brief show of discomfort instead. Wow. It's a good look on you. He's probably having flashbacks to the last time we met. His composure, when he finally regains some of his bearings, says it all. It's nothing short of hilarious, if I do say so myself.
I'll have you know that threats never work on me, Daisy. Not in a million years, not ever.
You're assuming it's a threat. How cute.
That too. I'm not scared of you. Just because you landed a hit.
Do go on. Keep telling yourself that.
It was a fluke, you hear? I was caught off guard and your damn book left a dent. If I end up in a hospital because of what you did, I'm sending the chief of Luxburn Police after you, woman.
You don't say.
Just give me that bloody box.
He snatches it out of my arms before a single word of protest exits my mouth and quickly disappears behind the classroom. Not that it matters who brings it in now. My prior irritation has already melted into amusement. He's not so bad once you figure out how his temperament works. It's almost similar to a child. Though, I still have to ask.
Kylie, did your Tio eat something bad before coming here? He's unusually nice today.
A far-fetched idea, I know. It's the only reason I can think of why this asshole is suddenly acting like a decent human. He's, quite frankly, far from being. First and foremost, we didn't end our last meeting on a good note. If I were him, I'd avoid the very person who put a dent on his skull, as he so aptly put it. Why is he acting friendly 2 days later?
He always is! But I made him promise to be extra nice to you, since you helped me so much. I think you're gonna be great friends!
Ah yes, the only thing money can't counter. Guilt. I quickly stop on the urge to groan loudly or gag at that. He's the last person I ever wanted to be chummy with in this whole city. But Kylie doesn't need to know that.
Are you sure it's not something he ate during breakfast?
I gave him some jelly babies this morning. Really brought me lots of them. Mama said I should share, so I offered half of it to Tio when he picked me up. He likes the black ones.
Oh, that's probably why he's weird. Jelly baby overdose.
He could have done everyone a favor and choked on them while he's at it.
Do you want some? I've got more.
No, those things are cursed.
I couldn't play Melody or Takako this morning, but I'm sure they'll be fine sharing some of it with you.
No, I'm not really very fond of them. I was just asking. Oh, where's your mum, by the way?
Out of town with Papa.
An unexpected pang hits me at her words. The statement, though it is enough, unearths a whole trunk of memories from childhood. So eerily familiar. Nights spent eating dinners alone. The number of days coming home to an empty house growing with each passing year. And sometimes, several Christmas Eves spent with relatives instead of my own family. It's too late to think about it now. But when I remember, a dull ache is still there. Familiar, though lessened by the years now. Beside me, Kylie takes a step back, having gotten tired of clinging to me. There's nothing but cheer in her. She doesn't seem too affected by the fact. Although it makes you wonder how much of it is real, and how much is there to mask the loneliness if there's even one. Well, lucky child.
Weren't they informed of career day beforehand?
Yeah, I told them all about it. Mama was looking forward to it.
And they still left?
Uh-huh. It's important business, so it can't be helped.
It can't be helped.
They promised to tell me about it when they come back tomorrow, though. Papa said he'll give me a gift if I behave. I've been a good girl, right, Miss Pink?
You always are.
No.
But they asked they asked your Tio to look after you? For this?
Nope, they didn't.
No? Then how?
It was supposed to be Tia. Mama likes her better than Tio, so she asked her, but she's sick and had to visit the doctor today. Oh, that's supposed to be a secret, by the way. Oh, but I think it's a bit confusing because Tio said she also went shopping. That's unfair. Don't you think so, Miss Pink? Mama doesn't allow me to go out when I'm sick. It's still okay, though, since Tio always buys me sweets before we go home. I'm gonna ask for a parfait today. Extra large. Don't tell Takako, okay?
Listening to her like this, it's easy to get a picture of where Kylie's fondness for the guy comes from. Oh, you're talking to the ghost because they're always near Luke. Now I realize how you probably met them. She's far from a demanding child, unless you made a promise of some sort. She never forgets those. She'll make friends with anyone wherever she is. Buy her a few things and voila, you're settled. No wonder she's so attracted to the man. The douche probably showers her with gifts whenever he can. I can't say the sentiment's the same for the latter, however. He doesn't seem the type, and probably just does it for the sake of getting some peace and quiet whenever he's with the girl. Classic techniques.
But before that, I'm gonna show him to everyone first.
Oh, great.
It's gonna be great. No one else has a gazillionaire fairy godfather.
Hello, children. Let me tell you the importance of money that you don't have, because I have it all.
Also, when I grow up, I'm gonna be exactly like him and marry someone really handsome. Like Tia did. That way, I can be awesome too.
There's some sort of misguided logic in there that I'd like to correct. Before I can say my piece, douchebag steps in and fresh out a commotion from the classroom behind us and plows into the conversation of every subtlety a wrecking ball has. No shot given, despite no one asking for his opinion.
Munchkin, sweetie, trust me. You don't have to marry someone for that to happen.
I don't?
Just do your thing, darling. I'm quite sure you can do great things on your own without lugging around an extra baggage with you.
Tia married you.
Kylie drops a statement without any sort of preface. Use the extra baggage. And the moment it lands, the douche finds himself grappling with the conversation.
Yeah, well, that's true, Munchkin, technically. But it's not the same thing.
A small frown creases the girl's eyebrows as she tries to comprehend her Tio's Rather vague explanation. It's not surprising, either, when Luke tenses under the child's questioning gaze. It's familiar. I've seen the same look a great deal of times before. On Ashton, whenever he's trying to say something he can't quite phrase. Another second passes before the douche moves, kneeling in front of Kylie and placing both his hands on either side of her shoulder. Kind is the last word I'll ever use to describe the man, but in this minute, there's a smile on his face I can't place, tender by all means for someone as not obnoxious as him. Now that I think about it, in the murder Hannah route that Luke does, I would think the ghost maybe possesses Luke, if that's even possible, and then murders Hannah, so that way, of course, she can kind of take her place. Because that route, she doesn't get to possess Hannah. See? So, like, oh, I gotta take her out instead. Plus, she hit my prince. I'm thinking maybe that's how that's gonna go down. We'll see. It's a curious thing to see, if not a bit odd.
Listen here, sweetie. Tia was already a great person before she met me.
She is? But I don't see her doing anything. She's always at home.
Not always, Munchkin. Did you know she's really good at numbers?
You're good with them too. You helped me with my homework once.
Well, Tia's much better than me. She used to do maths with big numbers.
Oh, like millions?
No.
More.
Gazillions. And she's really good at it. So much so that her dad let her manage anything that had to do with it. That was even before she met me, too.
Does that mean she's better than you?
Oh, leagues, Munchkin. Way better than I'll ever be.
For some reason, I don't think he's still talking about his wife's mathematical prowess as his voice trails off. In fact, if I had not been paying closer attention, I wouldn't have noticed a change in him. A slight shift in his smile, one that's turned into something wistful, like remembering a memory he has always been fond of, but has often kept to himself. And at the fleeting glance of it, a tiny, insignificant part of the world somehow also shifts. Opinions changing, impressions moving.
You know what? Why don't you ask Tia next time you have homework,
Okay, next time I'll ask her to help out.
See? No need to marry a good-for-nothing bloke.
Can I also tell her to not stay at home anymore? If Tia's good at it, I'm sure she can help you out too. And Papa. He computes a lot of numbers too. Tia can help him.
You go do that. I'm sure she'll love to hear it, Munchkin, even if it's been a while since.
Another silence from him. Then without missing a beat, he turns Kylie around and lightly pats her shoulder, in a gesture to end their conversation right here and there. Probably before he can say other things he's never intended to say or a child's not meant to hear.
But off you go first. I think I saw your friend run off to the other classroom. The one with the pigtails? Go say hi to her. You still have those jelly babies to give her, yes?
All right. But wait for me, okay? I've got loads more to show you. They put up my drawing on the bulletin the other day. I'm gonna take you there later.
I'm sure he has lots of macaroni.
I'll be back.
She soon disappears behind the small crowd, none the wiser to the sudden change in mood around her. Luke strains as soon as she's gone. The expression on his face grows less kind now there's no one to reassure. Despite that, a chuckle still escapes me. His head quickly snaps at me, an accusing glare cleared in his eyes. Although, it's less threatening now, considering what I've witnessed earlier. Funny how one person's impression of someone can easily change with that minute detail.
Why are you laughing like that?
Don't mind me. I just saw something surprising today. Don't let it bother you.
You know, putting it like that won't make me any less inclined to ask. What is it, woman? If this is another one of your threats, I've already told you it isn't going to work on me. That good teacher act isn't going to fool anyone.
What makes you think it has to do with you? I could have just remembered something funny. Not everything in this world revolves around you, mister.
I am not daft, Daisy. It's on your face for all the world to see. Now, say it so we can be done with this stupid talk.
I let out another laugh. Ha ha ha! More to delay than to express any sort of amusement over the matter. In truth, I don't know where to start. One wrong move, one wrong word, and I might offend the man. He's childish enough for that, even while this are just mere honest observations. Check the branching tree. Hello, branching tree, where are we? Dang. Still, dang, this is a long route. Oh my god. I think this is as long as the other routes combined. Let's see. What would...
You really think that?
No, that's the bad one. And that's the positive. Well, regardless of how he reacts, it's not like I'll have an impact on anything between us. I have no plans of getting too friendly with the man. They might have some good points, emphasis on might. The best treatment I can hope myself to give him is stop thinking of him as a sleazy douche. Besides, after seeing that look on him, I figure someone like him can use a little compliment here and there. He probably doesn't get much considering how coarse his own language can get.
Can't you act a wee bit polite for even a second of your life? It won't kill you. You'll easily get answers that way, you know? Instead of demanding things from people like a temperamental man-child.
I'll be nice when I want to be, woman. Don't tell me what to do.
And here I was just thinking how you're doing a brilliant job as Kylie's guardian. Was I mistaken?
Was I mistaken? What? Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Stop playing dumb. I hate to admit it, but you actually seem to be good with kids. Possibly even better than most of the teachers here. What do you know?
I've expected him to just take it all in, bloat his ego more, and even brag about it. Instead, what I get from him is a sound resembling a squawk. Or maybe that's him choking on his own pride. I can't tell above the hubbub surrounding us. When I glance at him, only a mortified expression is on his face.
No.
No? You should be proud of yourself. At least there's this one good thing about you. Isn't that nice to hear? Pretty sure not a lot of compliments get thrown around about you, knowing how you are.
There are a lot of good things about me, Daisy. My hair, for one. There's also my extraordinary good looks. Wax lyrical about those all you want. I'd be happy to hear it any day. Praise anything about me, but that.
What is so repulsive about it? Even Kylie likes you. Shouldn't that tell you anything about yourself?
Kylie is one kid, not even my own. Trust me, you do not want to see me bring a spawn of my own into this world. It will be an abomination.
Is that what you keep telling yourself?
Maybe. Is it any of your business?
No. But if I didn't know any better, I'd say this is because you yourself think you're a little piece of shite and somehow it'll pass on. It doesn't work like that, by the way.
That last remark just came out. There might be a sliver of truth in it, but I shouldn't have phrased it like that. Even if my own standards are the kind of person I'm talking to, it's still quite rude. Sad Luke, Ch.5. An apology's already in my throat, but the minute I open my mouth, all of what I prepared myself to say dissipates. Lost in the moment in front of me. He has turned gaze outside, staring at some point past the buildings blocking the view of the sky, equally lost in his thoughts. He's a vexing man under so many standards. However, in this moment, the morning light streaming from the window blends his features a certain air. Softer, less severe than what he often flaunts. I might as well be looking at a different man. There's a terror note in his voice when he finds it. The words mutter under his breath, not intended for anyone but himself. Nevertheless, it reaches my ears, unintentional as it may be.
You're right. She deserves someone far better than me.
All that talk about self-worth makes some sense now. It is some profound knowledge he pulled out of his ass. It's come about because he's already been there, likely still stuck in the middle of it. Preaching about your own personal experience is easier, after all. Less room for mistakes, more for a dose of self-loathing. What a complicated man. Just when you find you've already figured him out, he does one thing and says the other. People like him are the most difficult to gauge, far harder to understand. Yet it might be exactly for this reason why some are so easily charmed by him. It's a mystery that catches him. I want to find out what underneath that bravado. I won't count myself among those, yet his winning personality isn't exactly my cup of tea. But sometimes, once you get a glimpse of what's beyond that machismo, emphasizing with the man isn't such a steep hill to climb. The comfortable silence we now share tells anything, that is. Perhaps this is as close to friendship as we can get. Several insults flung around, with a few shared silences in between, and that's not exactly a bad thing. He's not exactly a bad guy either, despite the awkward start we've had. Maybe it's for this reason I can't resist throwing in a little comment to lift his mood before leaving him.
You know, Luke, you're not such a bad person.
Is that supposed to make me feel better? I'm touched, Daisy.
Take it how you will, but a little attitude change would help. A lot.
Oh, bollocks. Right, of course. Let me know when you're done with your lecture, ma'am.
And you can probably start by not leaving your wife out while you're having some quality time with your goddaughter. Who knows? Maybe that'll help change how the child sees her.
Where did you even get the idea I'm leaving my wife out? Have you ever even met?
Technically, yes.
No, but I did see her with you two last time.
His indifferent expression quickly dissolves into a confused scowl, while me with matching perplexity. But who was the car? But it's only been 2 days. Surely his memory isn't that bad.
What? When was this?
At the cafe, after you left. She was sitting right beside you. Kylie was at the back and you were driving.
Daisy, are you sure you haven't accidentally hit yourself with your own book? Because that damn thing's quite big, and I'm really getting worried about you. It has only been a few days, and concussions can be dangerous. I suggest you have that checked.
Well, you asked. I just answered. It's pretty rude to make her wait like that, by the way.
How can I make her wait when she's not even with us?
What?
It was just Kylie and I that night.
Now you're just pulling my leg.
Luke exhales, long and drawn out. His impatience rapidly changed the companionable air around us. In the face of it, I tense. I've accidentally stepped into another minefield, and each have with him so far has been like this. Why this still surprises me, escapes me, but above my worries of offending the man is my own bewilderment. I remember well enough what I saw that night, yet he says something completely different.
Wifey was out with Kylie's mummy that night. She wasn't with us. How do you think I ended up on babysitting duty?
But in the front seat. And Kylie's...
Miss Pink!
Kylie's sobs reach my ears first, and then a familiar weight returns around my waist again. Hot tears seep from my blouse as she buries her face in it, her arms winding tightly around me. Luke and I briefly exchange worried glances, his own lips shut tight with concern. Her cries are soft enough not to attract much attention. Most of the visitors have been ushered inside the rooms by now, anyway. But those that still linger, though, watches our little group with great interest and concern. If I don't get a better handle of the situation, I have a feeling Luke will start yelling at everyone soon. Kneeling, I gently pull the girl away from me, cupping her face and wiping away tears, creating little trails on her cheeks. Her mouth is drawn in a miserable pout when she peers up at me.
All right, Kylie. Calm down. What happened?
It's my friend!
That's a little too vague, Munchkin.
Let her speak, Luke. Who is it, Kylie? Melody? Or was it the other one?
Yeah.
Did the two of you fight?
She nods and immediately clamps up after, letting her sobs communicate that the story instead, or as much as her shaking shoulders can tell me. Right behind me, Luke gives a nervous huff while he shifts on his feet. He must not be used to handling children crying. What a wuss.
Sweetie, I won't be able to help you if you don't tell me what happened.
Seconds pass before she responds again. The tears are already gone when she finally musters the strength to talk, her cries subsiding to mere sniffles.
I wanted to give her the rest of the jelly babies, but she won't come out.
Where? Where is she?
In the little girl's room.
Is she still there?
Another nod.
She won't say what's wrong. I kept asking her, but she told me to go away.
Oh, we're about to get jump scared.
Career Day's going to start soon. I saw the prizes Miss Alice will give us for good. She's gonna miss it.
Is that what you told her?
Yeah, she won't listen. She won't even take the jelly babies. After I saved it for her, too. Tio Luke wanted to eat the red ones, but I told him it's not for him. Miss Pink, can you talk to her? Tell her to come out, and I'm really upset with her.
Ah, it's a little childish argument then. Times like this, I'm glad I teach teenagers to be mature enough for petty squabbles. I do love being around children and won't mind having one to my own in the future. It takes a whole different level of patience to teach several of them, especially if it goes. I honestly admire my colleagues who willingly took the challenge. Normally I'll leave this for their homeroom teachers to fix, but I can't just ignore the imploring look she shoots me. It's another weakness I'll have to steel myself against before I ever think of having one of my own. For now, I give in to it.
Okay, tell me where she is, sweetie.
Luke trails quietly behind us. Even with the small distance in between, his apprehension is palpable. Understandably so. No one wants to be caught in the middle of a children's spat. But in the end, this is all just a part of my job. I can't just shy away from it, can I? Kylie escorts us to an ancient hall. At this hour, the corridors and the rooms lining its sides are empty. Save for the gentle rustling of leaves, the twittering birds outside, and the tapping of our foot against the floor, the whole area stays eerily quiet. Not unusual, though. This is the part of the building reserved for club activities at the end of the school day, and with the rest of the school busy with another event, it's only natural for it to be this deserted. Come afternoon, right after class, they'll once again be filled with people. For the time being, I focus on toilets at the far end, heading straight for it. Luke stays behind, opting to wait for the end of this drama instead, obviously not wanting to deal with another person's kid, or a ghost. Technically he's been dealing with it all this entire time. Meanwhile, Kylie falls right after me, unusually silent as we approach the ladies' room. Sometime before we made the turn into this hallway, she stopped sniffling and started singing a tune under her breath.
London Bridge is falling down,
let's just get through this as
London
fast as we
Bridge
can.
is falling
Probably
down,
brace her, calm herself, or
my
maybe this is her way of
fair
preparing to
lady.
pull her friend out of her sulk. Good. It certainly reminds me of another person. I make no remarks on it, however. It's all part of growing up, they say. Let her learn. The door is slightly ajar when we get to it, and from inside the sobs of a girl echo weakly, barely audible even in this kind of hush. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Turns out Kylie's not the only one upset about this. Despite the situation, a smile forms on my lips as I call out to her friend.
Hello? Hello there? You're Kylie's friend, aren't you? Melody, is it? She's looking for you.
Children can be so amusing sometimes. Granted, they can be exasperating, especially around this age. The endearing things about them outweigh those. All you need is enough level of patience.
Career day's about to start, too. You'll have to come out, or you're going to be really late for it.
Oh, I'm gonna enjoy this.
Miss Alice won't be happy if one of her kids isn't there. I heard she brought little gifts for everyone who'll behave. Don't you want to receive one?
However, her cries show no sign of abating. They only grow louder. No, not close to a wail. Alarming, regardless.
Are you okay?
From where I'm standing, it sounds almost like she's in some kind of pain. And it's not impossible. They do that at times, hiding what ails them for fear of reprimand. If it's like that, coaxing her out might be useless. It also makes sense why she chose the loo furthest from their classroom. Wasting no time, I gestured for Kylie to wait and amble towards the door, calmly, so I don't alarm her. At the same time, a distinct sense of deja vu hits me. Deja vu? I know I've been here before. I've been in this position before, behind a door with someone crying on the other side. My calls ignored as her cries grow into a wail. Just this past week, actually. Even so, being in the same situation before doesn't bring any comfort. I'm putting up for the child beside me. There's a thick undercurrent of worry trickling into my stomach. I take one last breath, then I nudge open the door. It all happens in the span of a second. I don't make it past 2 steps into the room. Her cries abruptly stop. Light footsteps shuffle behind me, coming to a halt at the door. My heart skips a beat. And when I turn...
Kylie?
That's why you're the worst character.
Miss Pink? Miss Pink? Why didn't you help her?
I wonder if this is an Isabella death exclusive route. My whole body becomes motionless at the sight of her, words catching in my throat and my heart pounding rapidly against my chest. This is Kylie. I'm sure of it. Yet nothing in the manner she speaks or the way she tilts her head in question carries a youthful, innocent vibe she always brings with her. As if I'm merely looking at a dead, hollow imitation of the child.
Can't you hear her? She's asking for your help.
But it's not those that trigger a memory. It's those chilling eyes. Calling. Beckoning.
Why won't you listen to her?
All at once, a memory returns to me. A tide that has receded now returns to shore with an overwhelming force, carrying images of a single moment from days ago. Of a world passing by in a blur, and of features I can barely discern in the little light there was. And even a week has passed. In this minute, while I keep my eyes trained on the child before me, they return with such unbearable clarity. There are no horrid wounds this time, no blood streaming down a pale face. Thank heavens. Just lips contoured into a small, twisted smile. They brim with venom I've never expected to ever see in a child, saying tiny pinpricks of dread clogging my limbs and winding up my neck. You're a bad person. People like you deserve to die. I can't breathe. Those whispers and laughters again. Judging, mocking, taunting. each screaming word ringing sharp and true against my ears. My throat closes in. My whole body tenses. A chill settles at the tip of my fingers, every digit gone rigid from the cold. With every single draw of breath and any struggle for air or freedom, the coils wrapped around my body tighten, dragging me down. A gradual torturous descent into another bottomless abyss.
Help!
On, and on, and on, till I lose touch with myself and the world.
Help me!
Till darkness claims me and... Unexpectedly, a note. In the distance, harsh and piercing, cutting through the thick stupor and shattering the haze without warning.
Are you ladies done with your business here? I don't have all morning to wait for you two.
My eyes snap open and the world shifts into place with a ragged gasp. When I glance up, a different set of eyes greet me.
Are you okay, Miss Pink?
No anger, no vile hatred in them. Just plain, sincere concern. Bit by bit I become aware of my surroundings and myself as warmth suddenly slips back into me. I reach out for the nearby counter to steady myself at some point. My knuckles have gone white from how rigid my grip on it is. It's over now, yet the tension hasn't left my body. My heart still hammers hard against my chest in an erratic rhythm, and my breathing still comes in short, shallow bursts. Before me, Kylie fumbles with her hands, utterly unsure what to do to an adult, in what's probably a laughable state.
Did you get sick? I'll call Tio, okay? Just stay here and don't move.
No. No need. Just leave me alone.
Tio will know how to fix you. Oh, wait, okay?
He's just gonna give me like a ball of scotch and call it a day. I wish I could speak reassurances to her, but I can't shake it off. The dread is there, twisting at my insides in anticipation of what? I am no longer sure. Pushing myself off the counter, I break into a run. Brushing off the anxious look Kylie gives me when I gently push her away on my way out, or the furrow on Luke's brows when I stumble into him outside. Whenever they both saw my face, I care not to know. Bloody hell, I don't even understand what's happening anymore.